They say silence is golden, but when a man and a woman suddenly stop talking, that silence becomes deafening, and one of them is secretly hurting a lot more than you think. When the daily texts abruptly vanish and the late-night calls completely end, society usually assumes one side immediately breaks down while the other moves on completely unbothered. We have been conditioned to believe that whoever cares less automatically wins, turning the painful cessation of communication into a silent battle of egos. Initially, this sudden cutoff feels like a massive emotional withdrawal. One person might feel an immediate, overwhelming crush of anxiety and overthinking, agonizing over every single word of that final conversation and questioning their entire worth. Meanwhile, the other person might experience a bizarre sense of temporary relief, actively masking the quiet with heavy distractions, superficial interactions, and a false sense of newfound freedom. They push the silence away, convincing themselves they are perfectly fine and have entirely avoided the fallout. But here is the massive psychological twist that completely flips the script on everything we thought we knew. The person who seems totally unbothered and emotionally detached on day 1 is usually the exact same person who completely falls apart on day 60. This delayed reaction isn't just a random internet theory designed to make people feel better. A fascinating large-scale study published in Evolutionary Behavioral Sciences analyzed this exact emotional divide. The researchers found that while women typically report significantly higher levels of immediate physical and emotional pain right after a communication cutoff, they are much more likely to actively process the grief, recover more fully, and emerge emotionally stronger. Men, on the other hand, might not show that extreme initial devastation because they often suppress it, but they experience a lingering low-grade psychological ache that lasts significantly longer, sometimes never fully resolving at all. Because they often lack the same extensive emotional support networks to talk through the loss, they simply learn to live with the void rather than actively healing it. So, who actually gets hurt more when the talking finally stops? The undeniable truth is that the absolute volume of pain is exactly the same, it just operates on entirely different time zones. One gets hit with an emotional hurricane right away, letting the storm tear through them so they can successfully clear the wreckage and rebuild. The other deals with a slow, unpredictable emotional earthquake that strikes months later when they least expect it, long after the rest of the world expects them to be over it. It is a deeply complex psychological dynamic that challenges everything we assume about human connection and resilience. Hit that like button if this perspective made you see the no-contact phase entirely differently, and drop your honest opinion in the comments below. Who do you believe genuinely has a harder time when the talking permanently stops, and why?